Okay, today guys, I'm going to be attempting my first 2TC challenge. And if y'all don't know what that is, it's basically just where you can only use 2 towers in a chimps mode. And that's also... Okay, so while looking through the maps, I just decided I was going to do logs because it's probably one of the easiest maps to attempt my first 2TC challenge. So I just decided we're going to do it. Okay, so the thing that I thought, I obviously know I needed to pop camos and lead. So with that, I was trying to think of something that has good firepower, you know, does great Moab damage. And I honestly just thought the Buccaneer would be great. So that was going to be a good start too, because I was going to go for Grape Shot later on. Okay, on round 8, I was able to get the Grape Shot, which thankfully I could. I honestly didn't know what I was going to do, so I stopped the auto start for rounds, and I just kind of looked for a second just to find out. I didn't know if I wanted to upgrade my Buccaneer or put down another monkey yet, but I was looking at it, and I thought maybe the best path to try out was a 5-2 Buccaneer just because of its insane damage, and I thought it would, work, hopefully, but when looking at it, I just thought it would work. I didn't honestly know what I was going to put with this tower though. So I don't know what my thought process was at this point, but I just decided why not save up and maybe try to get a sniper. I don't know why I thought about this, but my path was going to be a 5-2. Okay, by this time I was feeling really confident about my Buccaneer. He was doing great damage, but this was around I realized that the sniper was just not going to be useful because it just wasn't able to pop camos on this round. So by round 46, I was able to get my Buccaneer to a 4-2-0 and my sniper to a 4-2-0. But yeah, I started to realize halfway through this round it was over just because my sniper monkey couldn't pop enough. So I knew this wasn't going to get far. So I was honestly thinking about quitting, but I was like, let's just see how far it goes. So I just decided, we're going to try another route and see if we can get it to work. So I had a different plan this time, but I still wanted to use the Buccaneer, but I wasn't going to go with the same route this time. This time I was planning on going with a 052 route just because, it can pop camos. Okay, so at round 14, I was able to get my Buccaneer to a 022, but now I had to think about what monkey I wanted to have second. So I had to think for a minute, but I eventually ended up thinking about maybe going with the Ninja Monkey. Okay, after placing my Ninja Monkey down, I decided I was going to go for a 205 route just because it can pop Moabs. So by round 56, these two were a good combo, and I just decided to go for my 052 Buccaneer first. By round 79, everything was going good and they were doing great, but by this time I had enough money that I could get my 205 Ninja Monkey. So I got that, and basically we couldn't make no more upgrades or no more moves, so we basically just had to watch this run go through, unless I needed to use my power up from the Buccaneer. So around 90 was where I was going to see my first DNTs, and honestly I did not know how I was going to perform. There's only 3 of them, but the Buccaneer actually performed pretty decent against it with the Ninja, so I was pretty happy. And I was starting to think we could maybe make it to the round 100, but we still got last 10 rounds to go. I just used my power up. I start using my power ups about every round here because, you know, these are some closer rounds. So round 95 ended up being another DNT rush, so I, waited until I had enough of DNTs to use my power up so I could get as max as I could. I did that, and as you could see, I was slowing the game down because it was getting very close, and they kept rushing. I was like, it's a close round. I thought maybe we could pull it off, maybe we couldn't, but as you see, those hearts just keep going, and I'm hoping it hit, but it didn't. And they ended up getting through, and I suffered defeat. But I was like, maybe, just maybe, I could get past that round if I actually use my power up right. Okay, so this time I was going to try to time my Buccaneer power up later, because maybe if I use it later, it'll actually get the ones that come out last. Maybe I could pop the first few that come out. So I thought about that, and I let the first few come out until I felt like I was needing to use it, and I eventually used it, and it honestly kind of helped out a lot. Like, you can see the difference. We ain't even really had that much trouble, but it still did not work because they ended up going past it in the BNTs. But as you can see, there were none. Like, if we could maybe just time it perfect, I knew I could get past this round. So after suffering another defeat, I decided to give it one last attempt to see if I could get past this round, if maybe I could just time my Buccaneer right. So we went in here and I tried to do it the best I could to my ability. So I eventually don't know what happened, but I just used my power up when I felt like it was needed. And I waited a little longer, I guess, this time maybe, and I used my power up, and as you can see, I'm doing a lot better, and we ended up popping everything, so I don't understand how it worked, but apparently it did. So getting past that, I thought if we could get past that, maybe if I time everything right, we could reach round 100. As for round 96, I just decided to use my power ups just to suck up those Buccaneers and get to round 97. As on round 98, it was just a lot, honestly. There's so many fads and junk to pop that I honestly didn't know what to do because I couldn't really do much. I only had the ability like once or twice this round because I used it the last round. So I couldn't really do much as there was just so much balloons. And so after I retried that round a couple of times to see if maybe I could get lucky and get past it, I realized I just couldn't, and it wasn't even really close. So I decided to just restart and try something else. But I can't lie, I was thinking about using a ninja again, but I was like, it's probably not going to make too much of a difference. So I obviously went for my Buccaneer. So I decided this time I'm going to pair the Buccaneer with a Druid, and I'm going to go to the 250 path. I don't know why, but I thought maybe, it'd work. And maybe if I get a 025, or not 025, but 250, I could actually, pop camos and maybe DNTs. Since, spikes all over the map, I thought maybe it would work. About around 77, I was able to get a 250 Druid, and I also had my Buccaneer all the way upgraded. So I thought maybe this could work. If I could get past the round 98 this time, I figured I could get around 100. For round 95, it was one of the rounds I had a problem with last time, so I was kind of wondering how we'd do on it this time, considering the fact my Druid was instead of a monkey, ninja monkey, not just a regular monkey. I don't know why I said monkey. But this time I was like, oh no, at first I was like, oh yeah, it's going all the way through, but then we just kind of started popping it, and I was like, it's look like it's going better, and then I used my power up and everything just because, I wanted to be safe, and it eventually ended up just working out. I don't know how, I guess these spikes do pop DNTs or something, But yeah, it eventually worked out, and since I didn't die this time, I thought, you know what, I could beat round 98. Okay, so I made it back to round 98 after last time, which I failed. So I wanted to see if I could do any better and at least get past this round. And at the start of it, I was like, we're doing a little better, I think. But honestly, I didn't know if I could get past it. But as the round slowly went on, because this was a slow round, and it eventually did go on. I think we did a lot better than we did last time. Yeah. Did we end up beat it? We ended up beating it. So I beat that, and I was like, you know what? We could make it around 100. And as I said that, I realized I spoke too soon as we got rushed by DNTs, but this time they had the things on them. I don't know what they're called. I forgot the armor or whatever. And they went past right at round 99. We went a whole nother game, got a round closer just to lose. Just to lose. I'm not gonna lie, I remember when I was playing this because I forgot to actually have my mic on. So I didn't like say anything really. Well, I mean, I did, but you couldn't hear me because I forgot to turn my mic on. So yeah, I was furious. I remember being furious because I was looking at it, I was like, we're not even getting close. Like, if we could at least get close, maybe we could pop it. But no, we was not getting close to that. And I was absolutely fuming. So yeah, I realized there's probably no help, or I meant no chance at all of beating this round, even with my power up. So I kind of just, got mad. Yeah, it didn't work. After being so close, it's like I'd rather die like round 30 or something because it's like, you know, like 8 minutes in the game compared to being right there at winning and then you don't. But at that time, I was like, man, it's over. I'm not gonna be able to beat it. So, but then like the most surprising thing ever happened. I decided to give it another go, and as you know, like I was like maybe I could get lucky or something, but then I just realized like the BTD6 gods just blessed me with a spike factory, and what's crazy is I didn't even put it there. So I went on to round 100, and I was like, oh well, let me see, if I can beat the I forget what the names of the big guys are. I'm not even gonna lie. Pause. But yeah, I had to see if we was going to be able to beat it. And as it was going, I was realizing we might not even be able to pop this, even with the help of the BTD6 guys. And also, this counts because I didn't put that there. I can't help what BTD6 gods do. They place that. I didn't place it. So the two towers were still mine, basically, but that one didn't count. So, as it gone on, I was thinking maybe we was going to even lose still. But eventually we ended up popping it. I don't remember when. It took a good minute though. I think we about popped it somewhere around here, or it might be on the bottom half. I don't know. But yeah, it took a while. See, I ended up using my power up for the deities, and we ended up taking out the rest of those suckers eventually, I think. But yeah, I ended up using my power up, and we got by it. So I did win. As you know, I had the BTD6 gods just blessed me. So thank them. But if y'all want to see me actually try to do this challenge and win, then go ahead and subscribe and like, and go ahead and leave a comment if you've done this challenge before and what towers you use. I might need some help and I might take your advice.